Hello, gentlemen. Welcome. Sorry, sometimes YouTube has glitches, which is always refreshing for me because I'm like, yay, even YouTube and their online world still have problems. Sometimes, as a business owner, you think when there's a problem, you think I'm the only one. And that's just not the case. You're not. Even YouTube has problems sometimes. So sorry, it would not let me log on. It was like, we can't find your camera. I'm like, same damn camera I use every week. So welcome, guys. I'm really, really glad to have you guys here. We are going to talk about sometimes a hot topic for some of you guys. Some of you maybe not so much, but we are going to talk about long distance relationships, why long distance relationships don't work, and is there a workaround? Can you work around the long relationship dilemma? I'm just curious, any of you here, are you in a long distance relationship? Let me know. In the chat box, are you in a long distance relationship? And I'm going to put on my earbuds, and hopefully those will work. And they are. Golden. I love when technology works for me. Stephen Hyatt, you said yes, Ukraine. Are you saying yes, that you're in a long distance relationship? Let me put on my glasses so I can see what you guys are writing in. Daniel has a question for me. Noe Davila says hello. He says, yeah, it's true. Some people can make a long distance relationship. Ninja Wolf says, if we live so far away, is there something I can give her to remember me so she won't forget about me all the time? What if she moves on to some nobody who doesn't have a strong history like I have with her? No, he says, yeah, probably. Derek says, hello from California. Oh, okay. Awesome, Stephen. So Stephen, this will apply to Stephen. Stephen has a relationship, Utah. I guess I presume you're in Utah and she is in the Ukraine. And Cayman Music says, I used to do long distance relationships, but I gave up on them. And that was when you were a teenager. David Pack says, hello here to sweetheart. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, long distance relationship. I'm going to keep these on in case you guys message me in the chat box. If you're new here, welcome. These are my live Q&As and my lingerie, and it's a way for me to connect with you guys and live time. You guys write to me in this chat box, which is fantastic. And it's nice to just be able to have a live audience going, because sometimes just recording videos is not so fun. And when I have people that I can interact with, that just makes it all the better. So if you are here, make sure that you hit the like button. That really supports me. It lets YouTube know that, hey, this video is really touching people and it's helpful. And yeah, thank you. Derek says, long distance is challenging with the new normalcy. Thomas, hello from Central Jersey, watching from work. So glad to have you guys here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thomas is one of my emotional warriors. So grateful to have you here, Thomas. All right, guys. So let's dive into it. So I always like to share with you guys where in the world I'm in, or where I'm at. And so I am in the Amalfi Coast. I am still in Italy. And yes, just landed in the Amalfi Coast, and it is beautiful here. Did I say beautiful? I meant to say beautiful. It's so beautiful here. So I will try to shoot some videos. I did a poll in my community chat, and I said, would you guys like some different videos from me, more with my travels? And 60% of you said yes. So we're going to change it up a little. At least I'm going to do my best to change it up. So here's the thing about long distance relationships. Why don't they work? Why do people have a hard time with relationships? Because relationships, we're meant to be together, right? We're supposed to connect. We're supposed to be able to feel each other. When things get hard, you should be able to hold on to your partner and be like, I'm so sorry you're going through this. When something wonderful and exciting happens, you want to be able to say, yes, I'm so proud of you. That's incredible. You're phenomenal. You're amazing. And you're able to say that to them in person. You're able to have that connection with them in person. And that makes it so rich and it makes it so rewarding. And let's be honest, it loses its effect when you're having to get on the phone with someone and FaceTime them and say, hey, I'm so proud of you. You're incredible. You're amazing. I knew you could do this. It's different when they're saying it to you on FaceTime as opposed to being in person and holding you and connecting with you. We're made to have that physical connection. We're made to be able to read each other's body language in person. But when two people are separated by distance, it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel normal. It creates a lot of uncertainty for the person. Do they still feel the same way? What's going on in their day? What's the highlight of the day? What scary thing happened? Where could I have supported them and been there for them? All these questions ring true for us, and we start second guess, is my partner still loving me? Is there someone else? Is there someone that is fulfilling what I can't fulfill for them? Are they going on dinners with someone? Are they physically connecting or getting touch? Are they getting their love language filled? Are they getting words of affirmation filled from another person? And they don't want to tell me because what's the point? Because I'm so far away. Like, these are the legitimate reasons why long distance relationships don't work out, why people have problems, why sometimes when I do live Q&As and people will write to me in the chat box and say, I need help with this. I'm struggling in my long distance relationship. Or, I mean, I heard of some couples during this whole mess that our world is in. Let's just call it what it is, a freaking mess. In this mess that we're in right now, that there are people who've been separated from the people that they love, that they've been forced into long distance relationships. I had a friend in Bali, and their significant other was stuck in Australia, and they just couldn't see each other because Australia, I don't know what's going on over there, but that government needs a talking to. I mean, but people are, they can't connect with their loved ones. And so now people are being forced into long distance relationships because of this massive mess that we're experiencing right now. So yeah, anyone who's in a long distance relationship right now and you're like, you know what, that's me. And it's hard and it's difficult. Like, I just want to validate you and say, yes, it is hard. Of course, it's hard. You're meant to be with your person. You're meant to be able to hold them at night. You're supposed to be celebrating their wins with them. You're supposed to be comforting them when life gets hard. And sometimes it's even in the mundane things. I remember, you know, that some of the things that I valued about some of my former relationships were not the big moments of like the big vacations or the big this or big that. It was just being able to consistently hold that person every night. Wow, what a beautiful feeling that is. It's for two lovers to be in each other's arms as they fall asleep at night. Like, how rich is that? How rewarding is that? That's so beautiful to be able to experience that. And then when you have distance and place, then it's a little bit more difficult. You can't have those very special moments that make you feel alive, that make the relationship rich and rewarding. So if that's you and you're having a hard time with it, of course, of course, of course, of course, it's going to be challenging. Now, you didn't come to my YouTube channel just to hear that it's hard to be in a long distance relationship. I hope you saw at the end of that, it says, and is there a workaround? Always, 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 when you come to my channel, I always want to provide you with hope, and hope that your heart can cling to and grab onto. So, can long distance relationships, is there a workaround with this? There's absolutely a workaround. Essentially, every point that I'm speaking to all revolves around one word. And that one word is what? Connection. We all crave connection. We're made for connection. If you've ever read any books about attachment, it says that they say that we are biologically wired for connection. It doesn't make you needy, it doesn't make you less of a person, doesn't mean that your self-love sucks if you need connection with a human being. No, you are biologically wired for that connection. That is your God given right to want to connect with someone. It's beautiful to have that need, to have that desire, to have that want. So when you're in a long distance relationship, someone just said here that their girl is in the Philippines. So yes, Katrina is from Indiana. Katrina, we don't get a lot of girls here. Welcome. We don't often have so many ladies. It's typically just men here. So it's always fun and fascinating when a gal joins us. Welcome, Katrina. But listen, we're made for that connection. And so, what is the one thing? If you've come to my channel for a long time, you will know this answer. But what is the one thing that really facilitates connection? What's the one word that really is the glue for connection? What is it? What's the one word? Anyone want to put it in the chat box before I say it, before I give the answer away? What's the one word that really facilitates connection? My boy Mike Bible MJ got it. Vulnerability. Communication, yes, through vulnerability. Katrina, awesome. She says she's always looking to grow. That's so beautiful. I so applaud that. Of course, Thomas got it. He's one of my emotional warriors. So, of course, he's going to get it. He's on the inside. Vulnerability. Vulnerability is the biggest thing to keep a long distance relationship together. So, what do I mean by that? How are you vulnerable with your partner? Let's just make it very practical. You know, a lot of times when we're very excited about our partner, it takes vulnerability to just ring them up and say, hey, I know you're busy with work right now, but I just wanted to tell you that I am missing you so much that my heart hurts. But instead of saying something that honestly, that vulnerably from the heart, oftentimes we'll make excuses as to why we shouldn't say those things. We'll say things like, it might be too much. I might come across as needy. They're busy at work. They already know this. No, 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 no. It's like the person who says, I don't tell my partner that I love them because they already know. That's horseshit. Never, ever, ever should we go without telling the people that we love how much we love them on a daily, consistent basis of communicating. I love you. And so when you vulnerably share from your heart and you say, hey, I am missing you so much that it makes my heart hurt. It physically hurts right now because I miss you so much. This is the kind of connection. These are the moments that make relationships come alive, that make them real when we can authentically and vulnerably communicate from the heart and say, I am missing you. Or how about in the scary times when we say, hey, I just have to be honest with you right now. I'm feeling a little bit insecure about our relationship. I'm sometimes wondering, like, have you met someone else? And listen, that may just be my monkey mind running around and telling me one story after the next. But I just have to be honest. I have to be vulnerable with you and just share with you what's going on with me. And what we want is a partner that can foster a sense of safety for us to be able to share those things, to share when our heart's excited about them, to share when we have those moments of insecurity. Insecurity is normal. We all get insecure. I don't know one person, I've never met one person in my 41 years of living that has not had a moment or moments or seasons of insecurity. And what it takes is having that sort of connection where you both feel safe to authentically communicate to one another what's going on, what you're experiencing. And we do that from a vulnerable heart. And in being vulnerable, that's us practicing self love. It's saying, I love myself enough to give my heart a voice to say what it's experiencing. When you get excited about something at work, instead of dismissing it and saying, you know what, my partner's too busy, or it's not that big of a deal, instead of downplaying it, of really going, no, something big just happened at work and I love my partner and they are the first person that I want to share this news with. Hey, babe, I know you're in another country right now, but this just happened in my life. And because, here's the point, because you were the most important person in my world, you are the person that I want to share that with right now. That you communicate to that person that they are indeed the most important person in your world, and that this is a highlight, this is a monumental moment in your life, and that they are the person that you want to communicate this too. This is how we bridge that connection, is through vulnerability. It's taking the risk. It's not circumventing what our heart wants to say with excuses that our monkey mind or our insecurity feeds us of, it's too much, they're too busy, they don't care, it's not that big of a deal. Bullshit. If it makes you excited, if it makes you feel alive, then share it with the person that you love, because that's why you're in a relationship with them. You're in a relationship with them to experience these moments with them. You're in this relationship with them so that each one of you continue to grow together. And you grow together by authentically opening up this heart of yours right here, this heart, opening up this heart of yours and saying the things that are on your heart, that weigh your heart down, that make your heart come alive, the things that you're excited about, the mundane things, just to show the person that you care, even sharing mundane things with them. But we circumvent ourselves by creating stories and allowing our mind to create stories that just don't exist. Well, my partner's not gonna, they're not gonna care. Well, let them tell you that. Give them the opportunity to experience you. Give your partner the opportunity to experience your joys, your fears, the boring and mundane. It's still an experience. It doesn't just have to be a high, and it most certainly doesn't have to be just a low. It can be the mundane things, but it's saying, this is what's happening in my world. And because I love you, because I cherish you, I want you to be a part of this experience. I want you to be a part of my life. Because otherwise, why are we here? Because otherwise, why are we even doing relationship? If we cannot share with our partner what is going on in our hearts, what our hearts are experiencing, then what is the point? What is the point? And now some of you may be watching this and you're going, Arica, I hear what you're saying, but I have a block. When it comes to vulnerability, I have a block. I just don't know what to do. I hold myself back with my partner. I don't go all in. I don't share what's going on in my heart. For whatever reason, I have a block. And I'm like, you know what, babe? I got you covered. I created a course on this exact topic. It's called Vulnerability, the Path into Intimacy. I just put the link right there in the chat. Get the course, get started on that. But at the end of the day, this is the glue. This is what really facilitates connection. And here's the thing. When someone it's a long distance relationship, honestly, what do you have to lose? They're in another country. If you send them a message and it's embarrassing, it's not like you can see their reaction unless you're on FaceTime. But what do you have to lose? That's a question. Even if you're single and you're not in this situation, what you need to ask yourself is, what do I have to lose? And the one thing that shame, because that's the only reason why we don't do vulnerability, by the way, is because of shame. That's the only reason why we will circumvent ourselves from being vulnerable with the people that we love, is because of shame. And so we'll miss those opportunities out of shame by coming up with stories saying, it's not going to matter to them. It's not important. But it is. The people in our lives, it's sharing who we are. That's what makes that connection real and powerful and meaningful. It was so interesting today. We were driving from Rome to here to the Amalfi Coast, and I was thinking about two women that I really love. And you guys might be surprised by who I say, but two people that I really just find cheeky, humorous, but real is Cardi B. I love her. I just adore her. I think she's the funniest thing. She says the craziest shit, but she's just raw and she's just real. Her and Tiffany Haddish, the actress. The two of them, I just adore them because they're just so real. They don't live in a bubble of shame, just thinking like, oh, if I say this, I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't say that. They just say things, and we're all just left going, did she just say that? Oh my God, did she just say that? And we love them for it. We love them that they're authentically raw, authentically real, that they don't question themselves, that they actually just go for it. And so, the people in your life are really missing out on the real you because you don't just go for it. Your relationship with that long distance person could go to a whole nother level if you would just open up your heart. But all too often, we try to play it safe. And by playing it safe, no one ever gets to see the real us. And I hear so many people say, like, oh, if I'm vulnerable with someone, like, what if they take advantage of it? I tried once with a woman. That's saying, I tried to wipe my butt once and it didn't work out. Gross. Do it again. It's necessary. Same thing with vulnerability. Okay, so someone hurt you. Gross. Shame on them. But it's necessary. It needs to be done if you're going to have relationships. Okay. But so many times we have a bad experience and we just say, oh, I tried it once and it didn't work. And my suggestion to you is try again, but do it maybe with some more boundaries. Do it with someone who's earned the right. But if you're in a long distance relationship, I would venture to say that person has earned the right, unless you guys have an abusive relationship. And then that you may need to question if you want to stay in it. Is the juice worth the squeeze, as some people say on YouTube? For that, it may be time to walk away. More than likely, yes. But the thing is, it's like the people in our lives, they want to see the real us. And that's how we keep that connection going in a long distance relationship. Let's talk about a juicier topic. Let's talk about sex. It's like if you get inspired and you're like, you know what? I know my significant other is home right now and I'm really horny and I really want to have phone sex with them. Let's just say that. Do you just go, I'm going to take care of myself? And, my partner may think it's creepy. It may be too late for them. Maybe. Meanwhile, if you tell your partner the next day, oh my gosh, I was so horny last night and I was thinking about you and I wanted to FaceTime you. More than likely, if you have a loving partner, they're like, are you kidding me? Why didn't you just FaceTime me? I was horny too. Why didn't you just message me? But even with our sexual desires, it's like being honest with our partner and saying, hey, I am desiring you right now. I'm missing your body. I am longing for you. I wish I was inside of you right now in this moment. But since I can't be, let's turn on the damn camera and let's make the most of it. But it's even having the courage to be vulnerable enough, even about your sexual desires. Because let's be honest, sex helps facilitate that connection between one another. It's super helpful. Sending those naughty pics is super helpful. It's all super, super, super helpful. So I want to go to the chat box and I want to see what you guys are saying. By the way, it's Arica Angelo coming to you live from the Amalfi Coast here in Italia. Let's see if I've missed anything in the chat box. By the way, I love you guys. I don't know if you've heard that today, but I do love you. And I appreciate you being here. It means a lot to be able to spend this time with you wherever you are in the world. I'm really, really grateful to have you here. I'm really grateful to have your presence. I'm really grateful to have your heart here. It's very special to me. And I just realized I just sounded like Mr. Rogers, but with lace on. David Pack says, looking very lovely today too. I guess you're saying in Michigan and she's in California. Okay. David says, you look marvelous. Thank you. You are a blessed woman, Arica. France, Greece, Southeast Asia, and Italy. God bless you, Arica. I actually didn't get to make it to France. If you look at my Instagram, I just wrote a whole post about that. But yes, I am a very blessed woman. Thank you. And I worked my ass off to get here too. Let's be real. Adrian says, true words, Arica, true words. Ninja Wolf, what if the lover I used to be with forgot me and she's moving away? Is she worth pursuing? That's the question. And if not, will you give your heart the opportunity to allow someone new to come in and love on your heart? Hi, Erica. My name is Paul. My girl is in the Philippines. I wonder where you are, my dear. Where are you at, Paul? Um, I was married for 20 years. That was harder. Oof. Marriage, it does require some work, doesn't it? Adrian says, thank you, Erica. I've been in one 3 to 4 years, but is it worth it to get back with her? Because I still have the feelings for her. You know what, Adrian? It's worth having a conversation with her. I mean, getting back with her, it takes two for that to happen. So if you're still thinking about that person, it's definitely worth it's like that thing that they put on Instagram. If you're thinking about someone, call them. If you miss them, tell them. So if you're still thinking and feeling about her, then yeah, give her a call and be like, hey, I need to be honest with you. I still have feelings for you. Um, Welcome, Jonathan from South Orange, New Jersey. Baumgartner Ranch, my new gal and I connect every day via Zoom and others. We make it fun and exciting. Absolutely. Even sending them memes, sending them sexy pictures, like all these things that elicit emotion, spark emotional connection. Go for it. Let's see. Hi, Erica. Gary from Springfield, Illinois. My feelings about long distance relationships are that too many things can happen behind the scenes that you don't know about. They usually don't last for very long. I think my earbuds just died. That's so funny. They've been charging. They just went doot, 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 doot. Okay. Um, you know what, Gary? I mean, people can do some pretty weird things in person as well. Like at some point, like we can always look for what could go wrong. But at some point, we have to give life an opportunity to work out for us. And sometimes they do go right as well. Sometimes long distance relationships, yeah, people always have the power to make choices, but there are also people who really value relationship and make the choice to really honor their relationship as well. Quag says, I'm in the USA. We can't meet right now, but we are doing just fine. I love that. I may get to meet her in Singapore this year. I love Singapore. It's such a beautiful place. I hope that you do. Chris says, vulnerability. I love it. David Peck, also embracing Erica. Adrian says, preach, Erica, tell this. We need to hear the truth. That's true. David Jackson says, hi, Erica. Hope you're good. I am from the UK and met my wife 10 years ago, and she lives in the USA. It's trust, connection, having a mindset, and a lot more. So I've been in the USA for 7 years right now. That's a legitimate long distance relationship. Yes, and trust is a beautiful thing. It is such a beautiful thing. It's the foundation of a relationship. And the more that you give a person access to your heart in a loving, committed relationship, the more it facilitates that trust. So kudos to you guys for making that work. Vince G says, thank you. I sure needed to hear this. I'm so glad. Thanks for the link, Erica. You're so welcome, Adrian. I'll put it again because I know sometimes I get lost in this chat. I like that. Katrina says, have a plan that you both share where the goal is to remove the distance in order to be together. I completely agree. The whole goal is to like create experiences with being together. Absolutely. Thank you, Cayman Music. He says, we love you, Erica. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Chris. I love you guys. Thank you, Brandon. Chris says, Erica, when a man experiences the block, it's usually because the man is afraid their vulnerability will be held against him by the woman. Is this covered in the vulnerability course? Yes, because we talk about in that it's like why vulnerability is the gift and the power that you have. And I think all too often we think of vulnerability as giving something away. We're giving them power over us. And you're not giving anyone power of you, because when you've owned that part of your story, When you share it and someone disagrees or someone says something shitty about it, that doesn't destroy your story because you've vulnerably been with that story. You've sat with it. You've connected with that story. You've owned it. So if someone else doesn't agree with it, then it doesn't break you. It's like, I'm sorry you feel that way. I know for me, it's like I try to share vulnerably on this YouTube channel, and sometimes I get the sweetest comments that come up on my phone. And sometimes I just get really mean, heinous comments, and I'm like, I won't tell you what I say. It's quite rude. But at the end of the day, well, after I say my rude thing to that person, I'm like, I'm not one of those, like, I send them love and light. I'm like, you can. And then I'm like, you know what? That person's obviously hurting. That's about them. I can't take it on. They don't get to take my power away from me. Um, Unless they're commenting, they're like, your sound's really bad. Or I had one person say, your internet's been really shitty lately. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. When I was in Portugal, it was terrible. So on those things, I'm like, you right, homie. You right. Trevor says, I think sometimes it's easier to be single. Maybe. I don't want to challenge. I don't want to take that away from you, but also I would venture to say that it might be less fulfilling as well, not as full, not as fun. It's true. James Padro says, to be in relationships, we just have to stop thinking negative. And it's easier said than done, but it's absolutely true. Oh, I love that. Katrina just said to send them care packages. That's such a beautiful idea. I really, really love that. Hey, Michael says, hey, beautiful, how are you? I'm great, busy, taking care of business. Get it, my man. I love it. Hello from Greece. I was just there. Let's see. Jason says, hey, Arica, have you seen the Fresh and Fit podcast? It would be awesome to. I've not heard of that. I'll go look for it. So, guys, we're going to wrap this up. But I just want to say, listen, if you're in a long distance relationship, yes, there are some vital things that you need, like a person's presence, their connection, to be able to hold them, to be able to make love to them, to be able to read their body language when you share something with them. Like, all of those things are valid. All those things are important. And so if you guys can push to be able to see one another, then make sure that you really strive to have that time together. But ultimately, to really facilitate that deep connection that keeps the relationship feeling like a living entity, you want to do that through vulnerability. It's the best thing that we can do to make a relationship work. And if you're one of those people, like I said, you have a block with intimacy, you have a block with vulnerability, then I really suggest that you get my vulnerability course. Now, you know what I'm going to say to you guys. You have what it takes. Every single one. If you're in a long distance relationship and you're asking yourself, like, can I keep doing this? I want to ask you to ask another question. Say, why am I with this person? And do I really love them? And if I do, then guess what? There's always a solution. When you really love someone, there's always a solution. And ask yourself, how much of my heart am I consistently, because vulnerability is not a one-hit wonder. It's something we do on a daily basis. How often am I consistently sharing my heart with that person? So you have what it takes, guys. I believe in you. You got it. But know this, wherever you are in the world, whatever circumstance you're in, whether you're in a long distance relationship, whether you're single, whether you're hurt and broken and you're like, Arica, I'm just so hurt. I just come to your channel just to hear you talk because I can't make any move or any decision, even if you're in a hurt place, wherever you are, my darling, that you're loved and that you matter and that you're valuable. And I just appreciate you so much. And I definitely look forward to seeing you guys next week for my live Q&A. I do have some great videos coming out for you on Sunday and Monday, so be sure to stay tuned for those. All right, guys, I will see you next week. And like I said, I'm going to try to change up the videos for you. Hopefully, I'll be able to shoot some videos here in the Amalfi Coast. They're going to be a little bit different, not the style, more of me walking, holding a tripod, and talking at the same time while showing you guys parts of where I'm at. So hopefully that won't come out too messy and you guys can still get the amazing advice, if I do say so myself, and I do say so myself, and also getting to see beautiful parts of Italy. I love you. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day or evening, wherever you are in the world. Take care.